2020. You come out guns blazing, man. Jesus. Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, I'm here today to review for you Underwater. So Underwater is the sci-fi horror thriller film, kind of monster movie, about a crew that's stranded underwater and they have to get back to the surface, and these creatures are lurking in the depths. And this film stars Kristen Stewart, John Gallagher Jr., and T.J. Miller, and wow. I mean, this film is excellent. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Clearly, though, I will say that whoever made this film, I don't know the director's name off the top of my head, it is very clear that he watched Alien before this film, because they're just shot straight out of Alien. And I went, wait a minute. I've seen this before. While that does sound like it would be a bad thing, it's not. Because the way the director shoots the film to look a lot like Alien, it really works. And for those of you who don't know, Alien is in my top 5 favorite films of all time. And I absolutely loved that atmosphere. Now, also, another thing I have to address. Okay, I have a feeling in a writer's room somewhere, whoever wrote this script said this is going to be a Cloverfield movie. Because it also straight up feels like a Cloverfield film. It also has John Gallagher Jr. and T.J. Miller, who were both in the Cloverfield franchise, and it does have so many Cloverfield elements in it. And that's another reason I love the film. But that being said, I have a carnal fear of things underwater, because we really don't know much about the ocean, and we also just, things underwater, even things that I know that I'm not actually afraid of, underwater just look haunting and creepy. So when you put a horror monster idea under the water, that is just Fear 101 right there. I was sitting there and I was jumping back. I actually did have a moment that I was up here and went like this, and that is never bad in a film of this genre. I just have to say it, Kristen Stewart did absolutely spectacular in this film. Being a lead role and carrying this film, she did great. Actually, all the actors did great, especially because Kristen Stewart, throughout it, her character kind of reveals things about her past, and she really has to break out some acting chops for it, and she does really great in all of those spots, in my opinion. Also, let's address the elephant in the room. This film is basically a Cthulhu film. I mean, it is a Lovecraft film, head to toe. And if the filmmaker wishes to disagree with me, I will explain to him how he's incorrect. Because this is literally a Call of Cthulhu style film, down to the atmosphere, the vibe, and the creature itself. Because it really has that vibe, but just updated to kind of a modern day. Lovecraft, in terms of his lore, never really gets much credit, and he set a lot of what we know today, and this film kind of pays homage to that in a way, and then does it in the style of Alien and Cloverfield, in my opinion. Also, there are some POV shots in this film that are legitimately haunting. Like, you're sitting there watching the film, and they go to POV, and you go, no, no. And that's because they got the sea so right. The visuals are just insane. It's so good. I've been just floating after this film because I was amazed from beginning to end. It's that good. I loved it. I haven't looked to see what the tomato meter is or any of that. I don't really care. You're here for my thoughts, and Scott's thoughts are this film is freaking amazing, and it's uncomfortable. I had goosebumps. There were moments I was laughing. There were moments that I was invested in these characters, and actually there were characters that obviously you go, okay, you may not make it to the end. And when things happened to them, I legitimately cared because they focused just enough on the character development, in my opinion. These characters had these little kind of ticks or things like that that made you care just enough that if something happened to them, you were legitimately upset. And so I had an emotional roller coaster as well as I was so entertained with popcorn entertainment, and I got this Lovecraftian, Cthulhu-ish, Cloverfield-ish film that was amazing. This is actually kind of what I originally envisioned Cloverfield Paradox would be. And, okay, I'm going to get real nerdy here for a second, but I totally think this was a Cloverfield film, and I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat and say, here's why. Because if you look at it, it's an undersea drilling station and a base on the bottom of the ocean where we drilled a little too far. That is the exact origins of the Cloverfield monster, and then all of a sudden this thing is awakened. If you just changed the company name that they worked for to Tagerato, if you changed it to the Chihuahua drilling station, and it turns out that down beneath there was something like a facility or things like that, which would have made sense for Tagerato, this is straight up a Cloverfield film. And I love it, and I have no issues with that. This film hit 2020 off with a bang for me. I really love this film. It could be a Halloween classic. It could be one of those monster movie marathons. It could be so many things. So I have to say, Underwater gets my rating of future classic. I love this film. I really, really love this film. Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, what did you think of Underwater? Did you like it as much as I did? I really hope you did, and if you're considering seeing it, just go out and see it. Please, go watch the film. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got plenty more videos coming to you. Love you guys.